everyone, Christina here. Welcome to day one of the holiday card series for 2021. I'm so excited to get this rolling. I have been dreaming of starting these holiday cards for quite some time now, and the holiday card series just holds a special place in my heart every single year, and I know it does for a lot of you too. So welcome, glad you're here. And for those of you who only watch the holiday card series, welcome back. I'm glad you're back for another year. So today's card, we're starting off with a bang. It's quite a time-consuming card, but it turns out really, really cute in the end. In fact, I sent a picture of it to my friend Mary Dawn, and she started taking screenshots of all the little individual snowmen that are on the card, and we started giving them personalities. So it's a lot of fun. Today's stamp set is from the Greeting Farm. They come up with some of the cutest characters, and I can't wait to get started. Let's jump in. So the stamp set I'm using today is called Fa La La from the Greeting Farm. And when I saw these snowmen with all their characters, I knew I had to use them. And because I wanted to use so many of them, I decided it would be best to do a little bit of planning. So I stamped all of the images and roughly cut them out. These are just stamped on grid paper, the back of grid paper. And then I started kind of positioning them and kind of deciding how I wanted my scene to be. And this planning stage is actually really important when you're creating a card that has so much going on it. So I stamped all of the images, all of the snowmen and one of the trees in intense black ink onto some white cardstock. I chose to stamp every single one of the snowmen because I wasn't entirely sure which ones I would use. And so I thought, just stamp them all and color them all, and then you could decide later. So I stamped them all in intense black ink, and I stamped them one time and the lines weren't super black. So then I stamped them a second time. And stamping them twice worked out beautifully. Gave me some really dark, stark lines. While I've got my MISTI stamp positioning tool out, I'm going to go ahead and stamp the actual cardstock that will be on the front of the card. So this is starting to create the scene. And my plan is to have kind of a row of trees at the top of the card that will be behind all the snowmen. So I've stamped them 5 times, and then now I'm going to create some kind of hills and valleys and slopes that I can use for masking off my scene. My masking paper is from Simon Says Stamp, and I've just placed it over the top of my stamped images, and I can see very faintly through them. And then I'm drawing kind of a sloping line right above the bottom of the trees. This is going to give me my top horizon line. And then I penciled on a second kind of slope. And this is going to give me a chance to ink blend a couple of different hills so that I have some depth to my background scene. After I had my slopes penciled on, I then cut it down to the exact size of my card. And then I numbered the 3 sections. And that's just so that as I cut these out, I don't forget where each one will be placed. I used my scissors to cut out all of the slopes out of the masking paper. And then with the remainder of that masking paper, I stamped 5 trees so that I could mask off the 5 trees that are on my card design. So I fussy cut around all of the trees and then peeled off the backing paper and then placed them directly over the top of all 5 trees. So the masking paper is going to protect the trees while I ink blend all around them to create my sky. So after I had all 5 of the masks placed on top of the trees, I then grabbed that very first piece of my kind of sloped background here. I didn't adhere it down right now. I'm just placing it there for placement. But then I did place the number 2 slope. I put that one down, and I just needed to have that number 1 there so that I would know where to place the number 2, if that makes sense. Because we're going to be ink blending the top portion of the card, and so I just needed to know where that slope was. So I'm lining up the number 2 and placing it down onto my card. Sorry if this is a little bit confusing. It made a lot of sense in my mind while I was doing it. So now I'm going to do a bunch of ink blending. So I'm putting down a slick surface that makes it super easy for blending. This is the replacement nonstick mat for the Tim Holtz media mat. And I'm also using a wide strip of Post-it tape just to mask off that entire bottom portion, just in case I go over. I'm using Scattered Straw Distress Oxide ink and an ink blending brush from Simon to blend up some of that yellow color right at the bottom of that slope area. I then use some spun sugar, and I'm then going to use Wilted Violet. And after I have all of these colors on my background, I'm not going to stop at just that initial application. I'm going to go back over each section of that color in order to get a better blend. So I'm going to go back to spun sugar now, and that's going to blend that purple a whole lot more into it than it was before. I'm going to go back to the Wilted Violet, just using what's left on the brush just to blend that out. And then I'm going to end by blending more of that Scattered Straw up into the spun sugar. So after all my blending was done, I was then able to remove the masking tape that was at the very bottom. And then I also removed that slope number 2. And I just very carefully peeled this off, and you're going to see how neat that looks and how it creates the horizon line for my scene. So I peeled off number 2, and then now I'm going to apply the number 3 mask at the very bottom. And I'm just going to place it directly at the bottom corner and line it up. And if it starts to have a mind of its own, you can peel it back up again and kind of move it around. And then I'm going to go ahead and cover up the area that I've already blended, because if any of the color that I'm applying in that middle section, if it goes up above that line, I don't want it to go into the ink blending. So I covered up the number 1 area as well. So now I've just got that middle area exposed. I'm using Tumbled Glass Distress Oxide ink, and I'm just mostly blending up from the bottom. I don't want the ink to go up and touch the top section. And it's just going to create that middle area. So now I'm going to remove the number 3 mask, and you can see how it created that line. And then I'm going to blend from the bottom of my card design. This is going to fill in that area at the bottom. So after I had all of that blended, then I was able to remove the number 1 masking piece, and then you can see more of what the scene is really looking like. This was like Christmas. Speaking of holidays, this was like Christmas revealing this. I love revealing really good ink blending over masking. I used a X-Acto knife or a craft knife to remove the tree masks. You can take them off from whatever area you want, but I kind of figured out, kind of after I'd peeled up a couple of them, that the easiest way to peel the mask on these trees was to actually peel from the top. If you peel from the very top of the tree, they peel off much easier. So there we go. I'm going to set this aside while I do all of the coloring on the snowman. I'm doing very simple coloring today with some Copic markers. And if you want to know what colors I'm using, they will be in the top corner of the screen. I'm just putting the caps of the markers in the corner. I'm using this light blue shade to add shadows on all of the snowmen. And then I'm going to use some very bright and colorful markers to color in all of their accessories, their scarves and hats and whatnot. I'm also going to color the trees on the background, and then I'm going to start fussy cutting all of these out.
Won't you come in out of the snow and cold? We've got it nice and warm. In here you'll find both young and old, seeking shelter from the storm. It's the spirit of the season to open up the door. It's the spirit of the season to give them love some more. It's the spirit
you understand why I said it was a time-consuming card. I think I spent over an hour just coloring and cutting these out, but they're so adorable and I love how they turned out. I chose these 5 snowmen for my card, and I put some foam adhesive on the back of each one of them and then placed them directly onto the card. Now at this point, I decided that I probably wanted some additional trees. So I'm thinking in the back of my mind, I'm going to add trees to the left of that final snowman, but I'm going to go ahead and stamp my greeting first. So after I had the snowman adhered, I now know where the spacing is for my greeting. So I first stamped it in that same intense black ink, but on top of the Distress Oxide ink, it didn't look real black. So I switched to some VersaFine Onyx black ink. Since I'm already done with my blending and I'm done with my coloring, this shouldn't bother the project at all. So I just stamped that Fa La La in the VersaFine ink. And then I stamped 2 more trees and colored them. And then I fussy cut them out and adhered them to the card. So the snowmen all have like a little bit of a white border on them, mostly because I had to cut out some of the hands. So I needed to have that white. But the trees that I masked in the back do not have any white around them. So that's why I fussy cut around those 2 trees so closely. I'm using this N2 marker to add some shading right underneath the trees and also these snowmen. And then I'm going to add the whole stamped piece, basically the whole card design, to my card base. This finished card is 8.5 inches wide by 3.5 tall, so it's your standard slimline card. I used some Tombow Extreme adhesive to adhere my card design to the card base and pressed it down and made sure everything was adhered completely. I then decided to add some snowflakes by using a white gel pen. And I just started adding them really randomly, going from side to side on this card. And I also had the snowflakes go over the top of the trees, so it looks like there's snow everywhere. And I also added snowflakes to the snowmen. And a lot of times we don't want to cover up our coloring with any details like this, but I really think it helps the whole card come together because it tells the viewer that the snow is in front of the snowmen, it's in front of the trees, there's snow everywhere. I decided at the last minute to add a little more details on this snowman's hat using YG17, and then that finishes the card for today. Oh, so cute. I love this one so much. I hope you guys enjoyed the card for today. I think it's the perfect day 1 card. I always try to make day 1 and also day 25 a little bit special, and this card, oh, I just loved it so much. So a couple of things before I close out the video. The first thing I want to tell you about is that we have a brand new class at onlinecardclasses.com starting next week, and it's a holiday class. So like I've done in the past, this holiday card series will remain free and available to whoever wants to watch it at YouTube or my blog. But if you would like to see some amazing holiday card inspiration from me and Jennifer McGuire and many other people within the card making industry who are just phenomenal artists, you'll want to check out Holiday Card Workshop 2021. I will have a link down below. We have special early bird pricing for the next few days, so make sure you check that out, and we hope to see you in class. The second thing that I wanted to talk to you about is I'm going to continue asking you questions at the end of each of these videos. I loved doing that last year and seeing all of your responses. So today's question is about holiday gift giving and planning ahead. Are you an early bird gift purchaser, or do you wait till the very last minute? Let me know down in the comments. Are you an early bird gift giver, or I guess gift hoarder? Are you hoarding all the gifts you're giving to everyone? Or do you wait till the last minute? I will see you guys again on Wednesday for day 2 of the holiday card series. Just a reminder that it's a live stream. All of the Wednesday holiday card series videos will be live, except for one, and I'll talk about that right before we get to it. But this Wednesday for day 2, it is live at 6 p.m. Mountain Time. If you can't catch it at 6 p.m. or if you don't like to watch the full-length live streams, no worries. Like I've been doing the last few months, I will edit it down, and there will be an edited for time and length version that you can watch later in the evening on Wednesday night. Thank you so much for joining me today. I will see you guys on Wednesday.